Hola seekers, and bienvenidos to a pick a card with me, Kim. So in this reading, I will do an energy checkup. So we will receive an overview of your current energy, and we will look into the current state of your spiritual body, your mental body, and your emotional body. We do have 4 bodies, the 3 just mentioned, plus your physical body. So I will go more in depth into what each body connects with and represents within the readings themselves. Okay, I will also be delivering some Reiki healing at the end of each group reading. So if you're interested, then please do stick around for that. If you're not interested in receiving any type of healing at this moment, then that is totally okay. You can just stick around for the tarot reading. Only those who consent to the Reiki healing will receive the healing. And as a little extra surprise, before the Reiki healing, I will be doing an energy exercise with you guys. So for anyone who's interested in feeling or experiencing your own energy or practice sending healing energy to yourself, then again, please do stick around to the very end of the readings. Okay, so we have 3 groups to choose from. Each group is represented by a crystal and a little sigil symbol that I have drawn that were intuitively channeled from solely connecting with the energy of each group. So for group 1, we have this symbol along with the Hematite crystal. Okay. For group 2, we have this symbol or sigil along with this fragment of an obsidian crystal. And for group 3, we have this sigil along with an obsidian crystal. Okay, so whichever symbol, image here calls out to you or crystal, then that will be your group. And the timestamp for each group is provided in the comment section down below. Okay, so now that you've chosen your group, let's jump into your reading. Hola seekers who chose the Hematite along with this sigil. If you hear any squawking noises, that is my neighbor who is a macaw, and apparently it's his singing hours. But yeah, so I like to begin this reading by sharing with you what I have picked up on from solely connecting with the energy of this group. So for you guys, I did receive the word tranquility, and I felt a lot of pressure and discomfort in my head as well as my neck and shoulders. So this is letting me know that there is a lot of overthinking going on. Some of you might be experiencing actual headaches or migraines, or you feel like there's just a lot of stress built up on your upper back or by your shoulders and neck. Now again, this might be due to being up in your head a lot, stressing about certain situations or stressing about scenarios that haven't happened yet, worrying about the future or ruminating about the past. If that is the case, then I'm being called to the breath. Actually, I had to take a moment before beginning this reading to center my awareness on the breath in order to release that energy of discomfort. And it actually helped quite a bit to bring me down, to ground me, and to let go of that stressful energy. So as you can see, we have 3 petals here, and I feel that represents the inhale, the retention of the breath, and the exhale. If you are called to it, breathing exercises might be very beneficial to you. Whenever you start feeling stressed or anxious, or you find yourself being caught up in your head ruminating about something, then center your focus on the breath. That will help ground you and clear your mind. Specifically that, I feel that the mind here, or the mental body, is what is needing a little bit of attention and clearance at this moment. I am also getting this energy of grounding with this image here. Now, I was also called a lot to the energy of the night, specifically the full moon energy. Some of you might practice full moon rituals or meditations, or you feel very connected to the full moon energy, and you are being encouraged to continue your practices. If you do not exercise any of this, remember that the full moon energy helps us clear out, cleanse, and purify. So during a full moon, if you can, spend some time doing some self-care rituals. Like for example, taking an Epsom salt bath or just a shower can help a lot. As I mentioned with group 1, water is an amazing cleansing element. You don't need to do much, just standing underneath the shower with the intention of cleansing your aura, cleansing your energy will help a lot. Drinking water will help a lot. It helps hydrate your body and it also helps you cleanse internally. Please know that you can set intentions for your water. So holding your water and whispering to it, setting an intention of purification, of cleansing, can help, I would say, like heighten the vibration of the water and assist with that cleansing. But now I will move. I'd like to talk about this stone, the hematite. So this stone is very good for grounding and protecting, and it also helps strengthen the connection with the earth. So this helps establish a sense of safety and security. Okay, but now I would like to move into the cards. So actually I'll put these down here so you guys can see it. And I'm going to do this reading a bit differently. I usually flip the cards one at a time, but I would like to actually flip all of the cards over to have a spread and a clear view of your current energy. But I will let you know what each card stands for. So this card here from the Art Oracle deck is here to give us an overview of your current energy. And it also centers more on the needs of your spiritual body, okay? So we have Jackson Pollock. Meaning doesn't come with titles. If fame finds you, keep working in spite of it. Chaos is handmade. Okay? Now, this card here is to let us know what is currently needed, specifically in terms to your spiritual body. Okay? And we have the Page of Arrows, the Wren, which is the Page of Swords in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. And this card did fall out horizontally. Sorry, a helicopter just flew by. So I am keeping it in this position because usually when a card falls out in this position, I either take it as representing that the energy is currently stagnant or that this could be the base or the foundation of the overall energy. So we'll look more into the meaning of this later into the reading. Okay, and then we have these two cards that represent the current energy of your mental body. Now our mental body connects with our beliefs, our ideas, and our thoughts. Okay, so we have the Worker, and we have the Moon. Okay, I'll put these over here. And this final card is here to represent our emotional body, and we have Perseverance in reverse. So our emotional body connects with our feelings, our emotions, and our relationship with all things. So how we respond and we react to situations, to people, to energies outside of us. Okay, so right off the bat, my focus is being called to the colors we have here at the top. So we have the color red, yellow, and blue. So the color red is associated with the root chakra, which is the chakra that is responsible for a sense of safety, security, and trust. Now we also have this yellow color, which is associated with the solar plexus, and I connect this chakra with our sense of self-identity as well as confidence. And then we do have the color blue here, which is connected with the throat chakra. And this chakra is all about communication, authenticity, and truth, our truth. Okay, so for you guys at this current moment, there is this lack of grounding, and I feel that there is a bit of disconnection with the self. So who you are, what you stand for, what you believe in. There might even be a lack of self-confidence. And then because of this, there might be a lack of motivation or a lack of purpose. Now, this message here, kind of a reminder asking you to reconnect with self. Sometimes we get sucked into titles and labels. believing that they hold more meaning than what we actually stand for than who we truly are at the core. Sometimes we feel that labels and titles define who we are. And when we get caught up in that, we start forgetting who we truly are at the core. We start moving and acting in accordance to these titles, these labels, these expectations, rather than our true beliefs, rather than our inner truth. Sometimes even we might take action believing that it's in the name of something good, right? Or believing that it's our duty to do a certain thing, or because we feel it's the right thing to do. And this message here, Chaos is Handmade, is letting you know that every choice you make is your choice. This is about taking responsibility and accountability for your actions and reminding you that you always have a choice. There are certain changes or things that are out of our control. Yet the choice lies in how we respond and we react to those changes or those circumstances that we cannot control. And that in itself, how you feel towards something, how you react or choose to respond towards something, is always of you. It's always under your management. And that is where the responsibility of self comes in. So it's very important to get aligned with what you truly believe in, with what you truly stand for. Because for the aspect of the mental body, we have the moon and the worker. Now, the moon card reminds me a lot of the subconscious, and I personally connected with feminine energy. And feminine energy rules the realm of emotions and feelings as well as intuition. And then we do have the worker card here. And this is the working bee. This is working energy. So this is persistently working at something with purpose, with meaning. I also find the bee to represent routine-like energy. So this is letting me know that the mental body or your mind has been working excessively. There's a lot of rumination and overthinking going on here, specifically in terms to certain feelings and emotions. Because see what we have here? We have perseverance in reverse in the aspect of your emotional body. So I'm actually seeing a blockage in terms to your emotions. And it feels like, because instead of feeling into your emotions, what you're doing is you're excessively thinking about them. So you're trying to figure your emotions out through your logical mind, instead of just letting them be, instead of just feeling into them. Now, some of you might be very logical thinkers because we do have the Page of Arrows here. Arrows is connected with air energy, and this is all about the mental realm, about thinking and communication. So it might be easier for you to think about your emotions instead of feeling them. And it might be because you don't have much practice in regards to expressing your feelings. There is a bit of an emotional immaturity in this energy, especially because we have the Page. The Page is the youngest energy in the court cards. We have the Page, the Knight, and then we have the Queen and King. Now, the Wren is known to be a communicator. It's a messenger. And I am getting a bit of a gossipy energy coming from this group. This is about constantly communicating, constantly speaking, constantly getting involved in conversations, or even taking in a lot of information coming from different places and different sources. It's sort of getting involved in various different things that involve communication, that involve information. And sometimes this can be an overload. And that's why we have this excessive thinking right here. So if you feel like you are one to usually get involved in the problems or in the situations of other people, and sometimes it might not be so consciously done. Sometimes you find yourself in the midst of an argument, or you find yourself involved in other people's problems. Then the reason for this is that I feel at the core there might be a resistance to connect with self, or to start understanding yourself at a more deeper level. Because that's what the moon represents. It's going into the subconscious. It's going deep into your emotions. But we have the moon, we have her here in the aspect of the mental realm. So it's like this resistance to actually connect with your emotions, to actually get to understand yourself more at a deeper personal level. And when there is this resistance, we tend to find distractions. We tend to help other people with their problems, to get involved in other things external from us in order to avoid spending time with ourselves, spending time with our emotions, with our feelings. Because for you guys, there might even be a fear of going deep within because you guys feel deeply. I know this is harsh, but possibly some people have considered you a bit shallow, and please know that you are not. That is not the case at all. You guys are deeply emotional, and your mind can really delve into deep topics if you allow it to. And I feel like that's something that you might constantly do. It's like you don't just tap the surface in regards to something, you dive deep. You try to find the reason behind certain people's actions, tend to want to understand other people's motives, or possibly their hidden agendas. You want to know more. A simple sorry, a simple excuse is not enough for you. It's like you want to know more, you want to dive deeper, dig deeper. And I feel like that sometimes takes you to start seeking information. And possibly that is when you find yourself in the midst of arguments or in the midst of problems or sticky situations. Please know that we don't always have to understand why a person did something or where they're coming from. I know we feel like that will give us healing, like that will give us closure, but as you can see, the mind is a universe of its own. Sometimes it's very difficult to understand and then to truly comprehend it. And we can get lost trying to figure out another person or to trying to figure out the whys of a situation. We can really get lost in that and sometimes feel like we are drowning, because when it comes to someone else, even though we might understand, we may never truly know. And so I feel here it is being asked of you to pull yourself back. You can never have a certainty to understand something outside of you, but you can have the certainty to understand yourself a bit better. So instead of looking outside of you, trying to figure the world out or trying to figure other people out, it is recommended for you to spend more time looking within and trying to not figure yourself out, but understand yourself a bit better. Because as you can see with this color palette here, you guys have a lot to explore, a lot to delve into. I'm seeing this as talent, skills, perspectives, ideas, beliefs, notions. There is so much depth to you. You haven't even hit the surface yet when it comes to you personally as an individual. Sometimes we feel like other people outside of us are more interesting than us, and we want to be like them. We want to replicate them in a way, and to do that we find ourselves trying to understand them better, trying to study them more, but you are ignoring a beautiful gem that is you. So this is about going within and exploring yourself, finding all of the gems that are hidden within you, and then discovering which of these gems you want to take the time to polish. So this can be skills and talents that you actually would want to take the time to perfect and work on them and to start creating something beautiful with them. And if there is anger here, if there's frustration, if there is this feeling like a lack of understanding, like you can't really comprehend the world, you can't comprehend why people do certain things, where they're coming from, I feel like there is an outlet, a creative outlet that you haven't allowed yourself to fully delve into, and this outlet will help you let go of those energies or that frustration or irritation or feeling of being misunderstood or feeling like you can't understand the world. It will help you release all of that so that you don't have to hold it within you and then feel like you have to run away from it because it becomes too much. Because with this perseverance in reverse, it feels that way because it feels like there's some heavy energy right now in your emotional body. So usually I see this as an emotional constipation, meaning there's a lot of feelings, sentiments, emotions that you haven't allowed yourself, like I said, to feel into, so what you have done is you suppress them. You've kept them in your body, and now because of that it feels heavy, right? It is like a constipation in a way. And so in order to release this, the best way to let go of this heavy energy, to feel light in your body, is to let those emotions be. So it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel angry. It's okay to feel frustrated. It's just finding a way to release all of those pent up emotions in a healthy and productive way. Some people find it that doing exercise or yoga or some type or dancing helps them release those emotions. I personally have tried it, in which I start dancing or doing yoga, and all of a sudden I start crying out of nowhere, and I realized that I had certain feelings and emotions that I had kept within and suppressed, and doing this physical motion and activity, I have allowed them to finally come to the surface and then release. And when that happens, I allow myself to cry. I just allow it to be. And later, I feel lighter. Later that night, I actually have a more restful sleep. My mind also becomes more clear, because sometimes when there is this disconnection between the mental and the emotional body, then we feel unstable, we feel ungrounded. And again, when we pull back our emotions from our mental body back to our emotional body, then we clear our mental body, right? We give more space to our mind to have clarity and to have focus, because your emotions are not meant to be stuck in your mind. They are meant to be felt. The mind is here to bring you clarity. The mind is here to help you make logical decisions, help you understand the external world outside of you a bit better. Your emotions help you feel the world, help you experience it through the senses, right? So when this gets caught up in this, that's when we feel we're losing control. That's when so much is going up in our minds, and it affects our physical body, because that's when we start feeling heavy. That's when we start feeling tense. We get headaches and such. So again, allowing yourself to release by crying, by just letting your body do what it needs to do, it's a form of detox. Now, the Page of Arrows, as I mentioned, is the Page of Swords in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. So when it's upright, it talks about a curious energy, one that is often inquisitive and quick-witted, one that doesn't mind speaking out. Rash energy, like it's the energy that speaks before thinking, and often it regrets later on what it has said. So if you find yourself to be this person who is constantly overthinking past conversations, or regretting what you said because you said it in a moment of anger or frustration, or because it was just a stream of thought that had crossed your mind but you decided to speak it out loud, then again, with this card in horizontal, this is letting me know to find a balance, right? It is not wrong to speak your mind. I do not discourage you to do that at all. That is a beautiful thing to do. Yet, if you can give yourself a moment just to process what is coming up in your mind. Because remember, not every thought that we think is what we truly believe in. Remember, we are energy and we are connected to this stream of consciousness. And sometimes we pick up on other thoughts. Sometimes we pick up on the collective energy. And sometimes a thought is just a thought. It's just a suggestion. It doesn't mean that it's actually what you feel or what you believe in. So if you can give yourself a moment to process what comes up in your head first and see, do I really stand by this? Do I really feel, or maybe an emotion that comes up, do I really feel this way? Am I really angry? Sometimes we feel anger, but we're not really angry, right? So again, it's something that passes by. And if you don't want to hold on to that, you don't have to. And if you don't believe in whatever thought comes up, then it's not of you, it's not yours. You can let it be. So this is about giving yourself space and a moment to find clarity. You find clarity by giving yourself that space before taking action, before speaking out, before deciding to hold on to something and claim it as your own. And for some of you, if you are creating something, working on a project, please be mindful of who you share your innovations with. Because again, I'm getting this chatty energy. So this might even be a lack of communicating for some of you. If being chatty is not resonating with you, some of you might actually have problem with connecting with others, with speaking your mind, letting your voice be heard. So if that is the case, if you lean more towards that, then you're being asked to slowly start expressing yourself. Now, remember that it doesn't necessarily has to be through the voice communication. It can be through writing, it can be through painting, it can be through pottery or ceramics or cooking, something that you create that you feel you're expressing an emotion, a feeling, a sentiment, an idea, a thought. That can allow you and will allow you to start bettering your communication. So let it be what comes more naturally to you. Don't feel like you have to force it to look a certain way or be a certain way to be valid, okay? You don't need to be a great communicator in terms of like a great spokesperson, or you don't need to get up on stage and speak publicly in order for your throat chakra to be clear, to become an excellent communicator. No, you find a way that feels right for you. Okay, this is about finding a way that feels right for you in order to start understanding yourself a bit better, in order to start grounding yourself more in your truth. Now, as I was mentioning before with the creativity, if you find yourself often sharing with others your innovations and your ideas, most importantly, if you find yourself doing this before you start on the idea, before you start working on it, it is being encouraged to you to maybe hold up a bit on communicating your ideas. Practice working on them first before letting others know about it. Because sometimes when we share with others our ideas, some people might not have the best intention, and even though they're not consciously, sending bad energy or bad juju to us, their own beliefs, their own ideas might affect the energy or might affect our mood. So sometimes we share an idea with the person and it's not necessarily that they don't believe in us, it's just that generally their belief system does not allow themselves to believe in this. So it's best to start trying to work on an idea or project behind the scenes, especially if you truly feel called to do it, if you truly believe in this, if it's centered in your heart space, then try working on it privately before sharing it with the world. And then when you have finished it or concluded, then you can share it if you want to do so. Okay, but that's all I have for you guys in terms to the cards. If you would like to stick around for the Reiki healing portion of this reading, then you are more welcome to do so. If not, then thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I hope these messages were of some help to you. If it resonated, if you did enjoy this reading, then please leave a like or a comment or share this video with someone that you think might benefit from it. Thank you so much for joining me, and until the next moment, bye bye. Okay, so for those of you who are interested in the Reiki healing, let me move the cards away. So I would like to give you a bit of information before we start into this healing session, because I feel that's quite important. So about Reiki healing. Reiki is a form of energy healing in which universal energy is channeled and transferred through the hands or the palms to encourage healing. In Reiki, we often use symbols, and this helps activate the channeling and the transmission. Now, and a very important disclaimer, when you receive any type of energy healing, please know that there is, you may call them some side effects. When there are blockages, be it emotional or energetical, and you receive a healing, oftentimes we feel how that energy is being released or is moving through our bodies as it's being released. So sometimes it might manifest as headaches, feeling physically tired, drained, feeling extremely sleepy, or it might manifest as actual emotions. So feeling sad or angry. Sometimes I've experienced this myself, in which I feel completely neutral. So if you receive this healing and later on you feel the need to cry or to sleep it out, then allow yourself to do so. Be gentle with your body. It's also very recommended to drink a lot of water, because remember, as I mentioned, water helps with the cleansing. It also just helps, rejuvenate your body. So be nurturing with yourself. Be caring and gentle with self. Now, if you're not ready for this, if you feel like that's not the time to go through any of that at this moment, then that is okay. Know that you can come later back to this video and receive the healing energy whenever you feel it's the best time for you or the most comfortable for you, okay? Also, please know that when I channel, I am working with my higher self and with universal energy. But I feel it's very important to not send this message that you often need to go to a Reiki practitioner or to someone who practices healing because it is important to know that all of us have healing abilities. They may not always manifest the same way, but we all have the ability and the potential to heal, especially heal ourselves. So for this meditation or practice, if you would like to call on your higher self, if you would like to practice healing yourself, then please, I invite you to do so. I encourage you to do so, because whenever you feel the need of a healing, whenever you feel the need to give yourself that love and care and attention, then know that you can do so. So if you want to do this little practice with me to allow you to become more aware of your own energy, then I invite you to take a moment, give yourself space, trust yourself and trust this moment, and sit down comfortably with your feet on the ground, sitting up straight so that you can have a clear channel. And then rub your hands together. Simply rub them together like this. This is to stimulate because we do actually have chakras here at the palm of our hands. So if you can think of Iron Man, you know how he has those like circles here and then he emits energy through that, and that's how he flies, then that's how you can imagine your chakras being there. So just if you can visualize, oh, the wind went crazy. If you can visualize your energy portals being there and lighting up as you rub them together. Okay, and then you can extend your hands, keep them parallel to each other, facing each other. Imagine those circles, and you won't be able to see it here on frame, but you can spread your hands as far as you feel comfortable. Always keeping them face to face, parallel to each other like this. So I can't spread them any more wider because you won't be able to see my hands, but you can. So spread them as far as you can. Okay? And now that you have done so, start bringing them together. Slowly, slowly and gentle. Visualizing those energy portals in the palm of your hands. And start noticing what you feel. Some of you might start feeling a tingly sensation. Some of you might start feeling heat or coolness or a resistance. Sometimes I myself experience a sensation of bounciness, like a squishy ball. And wherever you start feeling that resistance or that sensation, then you can stop right there, and that in itself is your energy. So what is in the center and that gap is actually your energy that you are feeling. So then what you can do is you can start bringing your hands together like this, closing in on that energy, visualizing that you're making it into a ball, shaping it like if it was a snowball or clay, like this. And then wherever in your body you feel that needs a little bit of healing, a little bit of love, you can take a deep breath and then send this little energy ball towards that space. So towards yourself. And bring it in. Okay? So that is one way that you can practice energy healing. But thank you so much for doing that little practice with me. And now I will begin the Reiki healing. So please know that energy has no limitations. So time and distance is nothing to energy. So you can transmit energy through a screen. You don't have to be in physical contact or proximity to a person in order to exchange energies with them. I do respect free will, so I will ask for your consent. If you want to receive this Reiki healing, then say, I allow. And in this, you give permission for your energy space to open up, to exchange energies, to receive this transmission. But again, I would like very much for you, if you can invite your higher self to receive energy healing also from your higher self. Once you allow yourself to receive this energy healing, then you can close your eyes or keep your focus on this image. I did draw this image intuitively before looking at the cards. And I will be channeling the Reiki energy healing to this image, okay? So please, again, if you can find a comfortable place to sit down, you can also lie down and close your eyes if you feel the need to do so. And take a deep breath in. Hold the breath. And slowly exhale. Take another deep breath in. Hold the breath. And then slowly exhale. You can do another breath cycle if you feel the need to do so. And with your permission and with your consent, I will begin the Reiki healing. Set the intention to bring calm and gentle energy healing to you, to clear your space of any energies, entities, and beings, thought forms that are not of you. To gently clear out the throat chakra, so that you may find your voice, so that you may connect with your truth, and in that find inner clarity. May you know that you are always enough, that you are talented and you are skilled and you are magical. That you matter to this world and to the universe. You are of love, and you are of light. You are divine. Set the intention to clear the mental body, to bring about clarity, focus. And inner peace. You are worthy to get to know. Clear away any outside energies, making space for self. And I set the intention to protect your space. Protect your energies, your bodies. And as this happens, you become more grounded in self, in your body, in the present moment, with ease, with grace, with love. Shield your energy. We shield your energy as your higher self is also working with you. Now I ask to gently disconnect from your energies as I close this session. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me for this Reiki healing. May you have a beautiful and magical rest of your day, and I hope to connect with you again in my next video. Okay? Thank you so much for joining, and until next moment, bye-bye. Hola seekers who chose this fragment of the black obsidian crystal along with this sigil. So I would like to begin by sharing with you guys what I have picked up on from solely connecting with the energy of this group. So for you guys, I received the color red quite a bit. So I associate the color red with the root chakra. And this chakra is responsible for a sense of safety, security, and trust. So when this chakra is out of balance or blocked, we tend to feel insecure, anxious, and or fearful. We can also become ungrounded, meaning we're either too busy ruminating about the past or worried about the future that we cannot focus on our present moment. It can even come to the extent of feeling disconnected from our physical bodies. Now, the root chakra does connect with the material plane, meaning all things physical. So when this chakra is blocked, we can feel disconnected from the physical world as well as our physical bodies. So if you tend to be quite daydreamy, forgetful, if you tend to lose track of a conversation while someone is speaking to you, or you find yourself in that awkward situation where you know you were heading towards somewhere, but then all of a sudden you forgot exactly where you were heading towards to or what you were about to do, then those might be signs that your root chakra is currently out of balance, especially if you've been feeling quite anxious or fearful lately. Now, I also associate the feelings of frustration, irritation, and anger with an unbalanced root chakra. So if any or all of these resonate with you, then you are being asked and encouraged to start working on your root chakra, start becoming more present and more grounded. And one of the ways that you can do this is by connecting more with your physical body, so becoming more aware of your physical body. So, for example, realizing what are some of the things that bring your vessel discomfort. And by vessel, I mean your physical body. So these might be noises, sounds, scents, situations, environments, people, And then start placing boundaries between you and that which brings you discomfort. And what that will help in is creating a space in which you feel safe and secure in. Because I feel for you guys, space is very important. Having a safe space within, and also having a space, a physical space, external from you, in which you feel safe and secure enough to put your defenses down, be vulnerable enough to connect with self. And once you start creating this space internally and externally, you will automatically start working on building a sense of trust with self. Now you can trust yourself to find, create, and maintain a space in which you are safe. Now you can trust yourself to keep yourself safe. And trust in self is the strongest foundation that you can ever build. Once we build a strong relationship of trust with self, then we become like a tree that is deeply rooted. Any storm that comes about, any whirlwind, will not be enough to uproot us or tear us down. So space for you guys is very important. Trust is very important as well. Okay, but now I will move into the cards. I will put this here so you guys can see it. So for this reading, I will actually like to flip all the cards at once, but I will let you know what each card stands for. So this card from the Art Oracle deck is here to give us an overview of your energy. And we have the Sophie Cal card that says, put on a good show for the surveillance cameras. Distance makes the heartbreak stronger. Invade neighboring states of privacy. And it says the sleeper here. Okay, so this is for the overview. This tarot card here is to show us what is needed at this moment. Okay, and we have the Ace of Arrows, the Breath of Life, which is the Ace of Swords in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. I'd like to note that this card fell out in horizontal, so I will keep it in this position and then I will explain why that is important later. Okay, and then this card here is to give us the current state of your mental body. Now, our mental body is connected with our beliefs, our thoughts, and our ideas, okay? And we have the world. And then this card here is to show us the state of your emotional body. And our emotional body has to do with our feelings, with our emotions, with our relationship to all things. So how we react or respond to situations or outside energies. And we have intuition. Okay. Okay, so seeing all of these cards together, right off the bat, I'm getting this message that currently your energy, your aura, is very open and susceptible to outside energies. So with the intuition card falling on the emotional body aspect of this reading, the majority of you might be very strong empaths, meaning you tend to absorb or feel other people's emotions. Some of you might even get to absorb other people's physical ailments or pains, even their thoughts. And that causes a lot of confusion in self. It might cause a lot of emotional upheavals. Because we do have this phrase, put on a good show for the surveillance cameras, it almost gives me this energy of constantly being watched and never having a moment of privacy. So that's why I feel like you're constantly being surrounded or bombarded by outside energies. And because of this, you might tend to feel physically drained, tired. You might have trouble sleeping at night. There might be a lot of nightmares. Some of you might even be experiencing sleep paralysis. Or there is constant chatter in your mind. Because we do have the World card here for the aspect of the mental body. So this World energy is giving me this vibe of openness. it is the world. So it's kind of like, it's reminding me of the internet. It's being connected to everyone around the world. It's constantly receiving messages, hundreds, thousands of them, in matters of seconds. It's almost like an overload. So if you tend to have intrusive thoughts, or again, you tend to overthink, or you get caught up in your head because there's just this constant bombardment of visuals, of thoughts, of worries that come out of nowhere, then please know that the majority of these are not your thoughts. They're not your worries. They're not your anxieties. You are actually picking up on this from other people. So if you're one to constantly be on social media, because the world is reminding me of the internet, after you look at the news or the media, notice if you feel tired or drained. Because again, by engaging with something or someone, you exchange energies. So because your energy at this moment is very open, it's being advised to you to be more careful with the media that you consume, the music that you hear. Who are you watching? What content are you engaging with? This can also represent what foods are you eating. Remember that foods hold certain vibrations, like colors do, like we have here with the rainbow. So notice what boosts your energy and what depletes it. And then try to distance yourself, as we mentioned before, with that which makes you feel uncomfortable, with that which drains your energy in any way. This is about learning to be a bit more mindful. Now, if this resonates with you and you've recently begun a spiritual journey, or you recently begun practicing your psychic abilities, or maybe meditation, or you started following guided meditations on YouTube, it almost feels like you have opened your energy, but then you have forgotten to close the door. So it's like you left the door open, and then all of this unwanted energy is just passing through and invading your space. And that's why there's this sense of anxiety. That's why there's this sense of fear that just comes out of nowhere, or these constant visuals that you don't even understand why they're coming up. It's because pretty much I like to say that you're like the internet at this moment. You're just picking up on all of this information, and it has nothing to do with you. And please know that I feel like this is unconsciously done. I don't feel like you're purposefully trying to get into other people's minds or trying to invade other people's space, like it says right here, invade neighboring states of privacy. I feel like you guys don't even know that this is happening. Some of you might even feel like this is your own thoughts or your own feelings and emotions, and that causes even more confusion because you're trying to figure out where it's coming from, or you're trying to heal it in some way. And it becomes difficult because since it's not of you, then how will you know how to, let's say, fix it, to heal it? So an exercise that you can do is take a moment. Again, I feel like for you guys, it's very important to ground. Sit down somewhere where your feet can touch the ground, or as you see in this image, you can lay down where your spine is completely straight, and then take a few deep breaths. And that will help you recenter more on yourself, come back more into your body. And once you do that, you can ask yourself, how much of what I'm feeling is mine? And you might either get a number in your head, a percentage, or you might actually see a visual of a scale. You're gonna get some type of information, or just this knowing that what you're currently feeling is not actually yours. And then you can set the intention to release what is not of you. And once you set that intention, you will feel a load lift off you. You will feel that anxiety, that fear lessen. And whatever remains, then you know that that is of you, and that is something that you can actually work through. Because I do feel like this group, you are highly empathic, and some of you might be even highly psychic. You're clairvoyant, so you get visuals. I feel like some of you even really good at telepathy, so you can pick up on other people's thoughts and actively communicate with others without using verbal communication or any type of physical sign language. It's just through communicating through energy, and that's what I'm seeing with this bridge. So remember that telepathy, you don't need to be in close proximity to someone in order to exchange energies with them or to communicate with them energetically. Someone can be miles and miles away from you in another country, half across the world, and you can still pick up on their energy. You can still communicate with them because energy doesn't have borders. So one of the ways that you can also realize whether you are connecting with somebody or you have connected energetically with someone and are picking up on their energy is if you think about that person a lot. If you're actively thinking about someone, maybe even obsessing about them, then you're actively creating a connection with them because your energy and your attention is being directed towards that person. And so it's like creating a bridge, a connection between you both. And that's why you're transmitting energy between you both. And this person, if they are receptive and open, then they are knowingly sending all of their energy, their thoughts, their feelings and emotions into you, and you are picking up on it. So whenever we do guided meditations, whenever we channel, we are opening ourselves up to receiving energy, right? So whenever we do guided meditations or any type of meditations or channeling, it's very important that at the end we ground and that we close our channel. Like we close the door, right? So that no more can come in as we go about our day, as we do other things. Especially I feel at night. At night, it's a little more difficult because we are sleeping. We tend to become more open. That's when we travel throughout the dream space. It's more easier to connect with others, people, with other spirits, with other entities, with other beings through the dream space. So if you can, before going to sleep, you can also set the intention of protecting your energy, of protecting your bodies. You can also put like a black obsidian crystal underneath because I feel this crystal does help with protection, especially in terms to psychic attacks. So again, if you have suffered from sleep paralysis or night terrors or nightmares, then I feel like putting this under your pillow might help you a lot. And if you can, if you are aware that you are actively thinking about a person, worrying about a person or a situation, then I feel like it is recommended, at least for this moment, to place some distance between you both. Now, it doesn't have to be physical distance because remember, the actual physical distance does not matter here. It's just centering your attention and your focus into somewhere else, because we do have the Ace of Arrows here. This is the Ace of Swords in the Rider-Waite Tarot. And sword energy connects a lot with the mental realm, with thoughts, also with communication. So whenever cards fall out horizontally, they either represent, at least to me, a stagnant energy or the foundation of the overall energy. So this is letting me know that mental clarity is needed at this moment. Clear communication is also needed. It is very important to clear right now your mental space. So disconnecting from that which causes you confusion will be very beneficial to you. Again, I feel like for some of you, you might either be obsessing or worrying about a situation. And I know it's very easy to tell someone to, disconnect from it, to stop thinking about it, but it's not so easy to do. But maybe start focusing your attention into somewhere else. Because we do have Ace here, this is about new beginnings. I feel like for some of you, there is a project or an idea that has been in your mind for quite some time. For some of you have even possibly started on this already, but you haven't really worked on it. Maybe this anxiety here, this bombardment of external energy has halted this project of yours or diverted you from focusing solely on this. So I feel like you are being encouraged to refocus your attention on this which you have left unfinished or you haven't started as of yet, because this idea will allow you to commence something new that I think will help bring in this mental clarity. will help you realign more with your sense of self. Again, because when we are bombarded by intrusive thoughts or by external energy, we can get lost in all of that, especially if we believe it's coming from us. We can lose our sense of self. So I feel like working on this project will help center your focus, will help ground you more, and clear away all the fogginess and everything that is not of you. I also feel like for you guys, your third eye is highly active at this moment. And that is the reason why I feel you guys are very psychic, very clairvoyant. Your dream space might be very, very active right now. Some of you might actually wake up feeling physically exhausted because your dreams were that active. So some of you, if you are feeling like pressure between your eyebrows and the center of your forehead, or buzzing or a tingling sensation, and if this is happening mostly at night, then that is a sign that your third eye is open or it's active at that moment. If it is uncomfortable for you, then again, you can set the intention to close this chakra. You can either imagine like a little window or a little door closing, or an eye actually closing. And this is not to say that you will be deactivating your chakra completely or closing it off for good. This is just for a moment to give you that safe space in which you can relax and be at peace. For some of you, this is not only just connecting with other people, but I feel like with this rainbow, you might actually also be receiving messages from higher beings or from other entities. And again, sometimes we receive these messages unconsciously, these downloads. Sometimes spirit connects with us without us having asked spirit to do so. And that can be uncomfortable at times, but if that happens, please know that you can always say no to it. You can always ask spirit to take a step back. You can always reclaim your space and again, close shop for the day, let's say. And the best way to close shop is by grounding yourself. So some of you, it might help a lot to, if there is a space where there is grass or ground and you can walk barefoot on it, that will help you ground in a lot and also release any energies that are not of you. If you can be out in nature. Also, I feel like for you guys, crystals or rocks, it doesn't have to be expensive crystals. You can get actual rocks or pebbles that feel right for you, and you can connect with that energy because that is earth energy, that is grounding energy. So it's very important for you guys to continuously practice cleansing your energy. Again, you could get like selenite wands and just going over your body with them, or you can use Palo Santo or sage. If none of that works for you or it does not appeal to you, or again, maybe at this moment it's not the best time to invest any money in that, then showers or baths. Water is an excellent cleanser. Standing under the shower and letting the water wash over you with the intention of cleansing your energy, that will help a lot. And I feel like for you guys, it's very important to build a ritual, because I feel like even apart from learning how to create boundaries, you guys are just very naturally sensitive individuals. You're just very sensitive to energy. Again, I will mention it once more. I feel like you're highly empathic. You're highly psychic. You can easily channel energy and connect with others. You might not just be good at receiving messages, but you're also very good at sending out messages. And again, distance is not an issue here. And that's what I'm getting here. See how we have this arrow shooting out. So you might just visualize something or think of something, and then you might think of a certain person and you send that message to that person. That's how good you are. Or you might think about someone and then that person texts you, and that might be validation of how good you are sending out messages without having to verbally communicate it or physically communicate it in any way. And if you already know you are a healer, please do not feel like it is your responsibility to take on the pain of others, or because you want to help, you feel that, because we do have the world here and we do have the bear, and it's very compassionate energy. It almost feels like wanting to help the world, wanting to mend the world. And And even though that is a beautiful cause, don't feel like it's your sole responsibility to fix everything, to fix people, or to fix the world. Know that you are doing your part by just being you, by just showing up every day, by showing up in kindness and in love and in your true authenticity. You don't need to get out of your way to take on the responsibilities, the burdens, or the pains of others, because that's only hurting your vessel, and we don't want that. We don't want that to happen, because you are important. You are as important as the rest of the world. So it's crucial for you to take care of yourself, to look out for yourself, and to look out for your body as you would anybody else. Now we do have the 7 main colors here, and it reminds me of the 7 main chakras. And see how we start with the color red here. So in order to align with all of your chakras, to find that peace, that relaxation, it's important to start at the base, to start at that foundation, at your root chakra, and then slowly start building to the other ones. Sometimes when we start our spiritual journey, we immediately want to open up our crown chakra, our third eye chakra, our heart chakra, and we want to start receiving information from spirit and from our higher self, and we want to start channeling information. And even though all of that is great, we usually leave behind the first 3 chakras. And how the chakra system works is we start off at the base, which is the root, and then we start building up to the crown chakra. And there's more chakras, but these are the 7 main ones. And yeah, we get excited about the higher ones, that we forget about the lower chakras, and those are crucial. Those are very, very important. Those help ground us, they help center us, they help remind us of our self-identity, and they help with our confidence. If these are out of balance, it's very difficult to trust the information that comes through, or to help discern what information is valid or is for us and what is not. Remember that not every message that comes through is a message for us to take. So it's very important to have that grounding in order to have that discernment, in order to know what is for us and what is of us and what isn't, okay? So do not disregard these first 3 main chakras. They are crucial. Okay, so that's all I have for you in terms to the cards. So now I will be moving on to the Reiki healing. For those of you who do want to join in the healing, then please do stick around. And for those of you who are not really interested in that, then that is totally okay. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I hope it brought some clarity, some guidance. If it did resonate, then please leave a like or a comment or subscribe, or you can share this video with someone that you feel might benefit from it. Thank you again so much for joining me, and until next moment, bye bye. So as I put the cards away, I would like to share with you what Reiki healing is. I feel it's only fair to give you a little information about this. So Reiki healing is a form of energy healing in which universal energy is channeled and then transmitted through the hands or the palms in order to encourage healing. So with Reiki, we do use symbols to activate this channeling and this healing. Now, this is very important. Please know that whenever you receive any type of energy healing, some people do experience what you will call side effects. And this is only because if there is some energy or emotional blockage, when or after the energy healing is done, then we might experience what will be the removal or the drainage or the detoxifying of that blockage. So I always like to visualize it like a river or a current, and our energy is the water. So when everything is going smoothly, it's when the river is flowing smoothly. When there is a blockage, it's when, let's say, there's gunk in the river that's not allowing the current to flow naturally. So with the energy healing, what we do is we push away that gunk, right? So when that gunk is moving down the stream, at times we might feel it, and how we feel it might manifest in different ways. Some people tend to want to sleep and that's your body signaling, hey, you need to rest because we need to work through this. You need to re-energize or reboot. And so sleeping right now is the best for you. Some people might feel very hungry, others might not feel hungry at all. Sometimes there is anger or sadness that comes about. Some people just start crying. And if any of these emotions come about, then please let them. This is a time to allow yourself to release and to feel. So if you need to cry, allow yourself to cry. Crying is a great way to detox. Also, it's very important to keep hydrated. So drink a lot of water. Remember, we were speaking about how water is an excellent cleanser. So this will help aid in a sense with the cleansing and with the healing process, okay? So with that being said, if at this moment you do not feel at all like working through any emotional blockage and such, then that is totally okay. Whenever you feel it's the right time, it will be the right time. You can always come back to this video later if you want to receive the healing. Remember that energy does not care for time or distance. So this healing will always be available to you. I know I'm talking a lot, but I feel like all of this is very important. Also, please know that whenever someone is offering a Reiki healing, a session like this, if you do not at all resonate with the person's energy, then please use discernment, listen to that gut feeling. So for example, if you're not resonating with me at this moment, then that is totally okay. You don't have to receive the healing, okay? So always trust your instincts, your intuition. If something does not feel right for you, then it means that at this moment it is not right for you, and that is totally okay. Also, I want to encourage you to start working with yourself. Start connecting with your higher self in order to bring healing to self. Please know that everyone has the ability to heal. How that ability is manifested will be different for everyone because everyone is their own person. Everyone is different. Yet we all have the ability to heal ourselves, especially ourselves. So you don't always have to be looking for someone outside of you to bring healing to you. If you feel the need to do so, then that is totally okay. You can always work with someone else. But I just want to let you guys know that you can heal yourselves. You have that power, okay? You don't have to be labeled a healer, a Reiki master, anything of the sorts to be able to heal yourself. So before we get into the Reiki healing, I would like to do a little practice with you, if that is okay. If not, you can skip right through this. But this practice will allow you to recognize your energy, feel your energy, and send that healing energy to your own body, to yourself. So if you can give yourself a moment to do this exercise, then that will be great. So if you can find a comfortable place to sit upright, put your feet firmly on the ground. And then I will ask you to, or invite you to, start rubbing your hands together. This is a fun exercise. Don't feel like you're being tested or that it will be something difficult or feel like this is to prove something. This is just a little fun experience for you, okay? You can use your imagination here. There's no harm done. The imagination is key tool in terms to strengthening your spiritual or your psychic abilities. So start rubbing your hands. And remember that at the center of our hands, at the center of our palms, we do have chakras, or like little energy portals. So usually I see them as, or visualize them as Iron Man. You know how Iron Man has like these little circle of lights in its hands, and that's where he emits energy so that he can be able to fly. So just imagine it as a circle of light here in the palm of your hands. And what we're doing as we're rubbing our hands is activating those energy centers, okay? So once you feel heat awaken those nerves at the palm of your hands, then what you're going to do is you're slowly going to start separating your hands. And please keep your hands parallel to each other. So your energy centers are always facing each other. And you're going to separate your hands and extend them as far and wide as you can. Now, I won't be able to do so because if I do so, I will be out of frame. So just keep going as far as you can. And remember to keep your hands parallel to each other, your energy centers facing each other, okay? And when you reach your comfortable point, then I want you to start bringing your hands back together. Gently, slowly. And some of you might start feeling a little bit of tingling sensation or heat. Some feel a cooling sensation. I personally have experienced resistance or like a bouncy energy, as if there was like a big squishy bouncy ball between my hands. And when you feel that resistance, then you can stop. Okay? And so what is left, the gap between your hands, that is to represent your current energy. So if you want to get a measure of how far your aura is at this moment, how far and wide, then this will give you a good representation of that. So sometimes when we are a little anxious, shy, or fearful, our aura tends to be quite small. It closes in on our bodies, just like how our body, when it feels uncomfortable, we start closing in on ourselves. And when we feel excited, joyful, secure, then our aura is pretty big. It stretches outwards and far and wide. Okay, so once you get a good idea of how your aura field is at this moment, or your energy, then you can start closing it in, shaping it into a little ball, a little sphere, just like if you were shaping a snowball or clay. And once you do that, once you have it there in the palm of your hands, then you can either shake it around, know that your energy is in there, and take a moment, breathe deeply in. Hold the breath, 3, 2, 1, and then slowly exhale. And become aware of your body. See where it is that you feel needs a little bit of loving, a little bit of care and attention at this moment. And whatever space in your body you feel that needs a little bit of healing, then I want you to breathe in again. And then in the exhale, send this ball of energy to that specific spot. Okay? So breathe in. And then exhale. And then send it towards you. And that is a way of sending healing energy to yourself, okay? So I hope you enjoyed the little exercise, that it helped encourage you to start working with yourself a little bit more. But now we will get into the Reiki healing portion of this reading. You're like, finally. So for this Reiki healing, I will be channeling the universe's energy, and I will be working with my higher self. But I would very much appreciate it if you can call on your higher self to work with us on bringing healing to you. Again, I really want to encourage this connection with self. So if you can call on your higher self to help you feel a little bit more safe and secure in your own space. And once you do that, again, find a comfortable seating position, or you can be laying down. Just be mindful to keep your spine straight. And then you can either keep your eyesight on this sigil, this image here, because I will be channeling the Reiki energy to this image. And through this image, it will be transmitted to you, okay? So you can either put your focus on this, or you can close your eyes, whatever you feel the most comfortable with. And I will be asking for your consent. So this energy transmission will only occur if you accept, if you consent. So all you have to do is set the intention of receiving this energy healing. So you can say, I receive, okay? And now I will actually begin the Reiki healing. So let me light this incense, okay? And let us begin. So please close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Hold the breath for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly exhale. Again, take a deep breath in through the nose. Hold the breath for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly exhale. You can do another breath cycle if you feel it is needed. Okay. Now I will begin. set the intention to bring soothing and gentle healing energies to all those who are connecting at this moment. I set the intention to remove any energies, entities, thought forms, emotions that are not of you. To have them cleared away from your space and from your being. And as that energy is cleared away, I send divine healing light to fill those spaces. I set the intention to remove any fogginess from your mind, from your mental body. I blow the clouds away so that the sun, which represents your truth, may illuminate, so that you may have clarity. So it is. I ask Mother Gaia to help you ground, to gently bring your spirit, your energy back into your body. May you always trust yourself and believe in yourself. May you always remember that you are light. May you always remember your divinity and who you are. May you always remember your spirit. You are safe. You are protected. I set the intention to protect your space, to protect your energy. I ask your higher self to bring in any healing that is needed for you personally at this moment. And I thank your higher self for working with us. As we shield your energy, I ask to start slowly disconnecting from your energy with love, ease, and grace. We disconnect. And I thank you so much for allowing me to connect with your energy. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading, and I hope you have a magical and wonderful rest of your day or night. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next moment, bye-bye! Hola seekers who chose the black obsidian along with this sigil that we have here. Okay, so I would like to begin by sharing with you what I have picked up on from solely connecting with the energy of this group. So right off the bat, I received the message, you are the master of your universe. And for you guys, I am feeling that you are being encouraged to start believing in yourself more. There's almost this feeling of resisting your own abilities, your own talents, your skills, your own inner wisdom. I feel you guys are very in tune with your higher selves or with beings from higher frequencies, higher dimensions, and you get a lot of information, you get a lot of beautiful ideas. You might be very intuitive, very psychic, meaning you might see into possibilities or scenarios that haven't happened yet. But you have difficulty believing that what is coming through is actually true, or that you do have these abilities, that you are psychic, that you are clairvoyant, that you are highly intuitive. It's like you guys have this amazing power, these amazing abilities, but you resist them because you don't believe in them, or you don't believe in yourself to have these abilities. It's like you believe in the magic, but for some reason you don't believe that you have the magic, or that something wonderful and magical can happen to you. It can happen to others, but for some reason you don't believe it can ever happen to you. And I feel Spirit, your higher self, feels a little saddened by this, because you are such an amazing individual. You have such amazing talents, and if only you believed in yourself, if only you believed in your capabilities, the beautiful and amazing things that you would create, the beauty that you will help restore in the world would be countless. I feel the need to let you guys know that you are beautiful, that you are enough, and that you are light, okay? You are light, you are divine, you are of love. I'm getting this message of fragmentation, feeling fragmented, feeling broken, feeling incomplete. If that is the case, if any of these phrases or messages resonate with you, please know that you are whole. You are not broken. You have never been broken. You are simply at this moment not seeing the whole picture, the whole of you. We had another obsidian crystal and it was a fragment, but here we have the whole obsidian crystal. You guys chose this one. You are whole and complete. You are simply at this current moment discovering all of your angles and all of your facets. You haven't seen it all, but soon you will. And you will realize that you have never been without. Okay? Oh, and yes, I feel also the energy of balance for you guys is very important. Balancing yourself, understanding your duality, and realizing that that makes the whole. You are not one side of the coin. You're not even two-dimensional. You are multi-dimensional. And like I mentioned, you have so many facets, and that's why at times you might feel like you're missing something, and it's because you haven't discovered all of your facets yet. So your spirit is eager for you to get to remember all of yourself, and that's why there is this feeling of incompleteness, but it doesn't mean that you're incomplete. It just means that you're about to discover more of who you are. Okay? I hope that makes sense. But now we will move into the cards. So I will put these here for you to see. So I would like to do this reading a bit differently. Usually I flip the cards one at a time, but in this particular spread, I would like to flip all of them at once, just to really get to see your current energy. But I will explain to you what each card stands for. So this card from the Art Oracle deck is here to give us an overview of your current energy. I also connect this more with the current state of your spiritual body. So we have Leonardo da Vinci. I'm not a Renaissance man. I'm a Renaissance man. Dissect what makes us human. Look into research like you would a crystal ball. Okay. This energy. Okay, so these two cards here are to show us what is currently needed. Also, specifically in terms to your spirit, to your spiritual body and essence. So we have the Five of Stones, Endurance. This is the Five of Pentacles in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. And then we have, the Two of Vessels, Attraction. This is the Two of Cups in the Rider-Waite's Tarot. Okay, interesting. And then this oracle card here is to give us information about the state of your mental body. Your mental body connects with your ideas, beliefs, and thoughts, okay? So we have Rise in reverse. And then these oracle cards, I asked for one, the same for these one, but two fell out, so I took them, are here to show us the current state of your emotional body. Your emotional body is connected to your feelings, your emotions, as well as your relationship with everything else. So how you respond and you react to situations, people, and energy outside of you. So we have Mystery, and we have Worker. This is interesting. The Worker card came out for group 2 as well, but it came out in the mental body aspect of this reading. So before we get into the cards, because I feel this is important, we do have the number 2 here, and this sigil here was actually inspired after looking at the clock and seeing 222. Because I actually received several different sigils for this group before even looking at the cards, and I was kind of struggling to find which one would best suit this reading, and then all of a sudden I felt the need to look up and the clock was right there and it was 222. So as you can see, we have a 2 here and then a 2 here. So this is again reminding me of the energy of balance and also of duality. So if you have been seeing the number 222 or 22 or the number 2 a lot, then that might be validation that this reading is for you, or you're being asked to pay close attention to what you are thinking about, expressing, or feeling in that moment when you see 222. Because I feel like that is a message specifically for you guys, okay? Right off the bat with the message here, I'm not a Renaissance man, I'm a Renaissance man. I feel like this is letting us know that how you speak to yourself makes all the difference. You know, how this comma here where it's positioned changed the significance of the sentence completely. So sometimes we forget that how we phrase certain things, how we speak, the intention we put behind something makes all the difference. Especially if you are actively trying to manifest something or set intentions, or are actively at this moment trying to change certain belief systems or ways of thinking. Pay focus to the way that you are speaking. So for example, I once heard whenever your body feels unwell, it is recommended not to state, I am sick, right? Because that's kind of instilling in your own subconscious mind that you are sick, right? When it might not be the case, it just might be the case that your body is feeling tired, that you just need to take a nap or you need rest. So it's best to phrase it another way, right? It's best to say, my body needs rest or my body needs sleep, right? And that changes the whole thing. It changes the whole way you experience something. It changed the way that you perceive it. So be mindful how you're wording and phrasing your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts. Because again, it changes the experience itself. It also helps empower you more. When you start realizing that you can shift your mentality by how it is that you choose to express yourself, by how it is that you choose to show up in the world. That your words have power, they have meaning, they hold magic. Especially when there is intention behind it. Okay, so some of you, this might be letting us know that you have been a little harsh with yourself. Maybe you've been a little self-critical, especially with this 5 of Stones endurance card. This is the 5 of Pentacles, and this often speaks about hardship, feeling left out in the cold, struggles. So I am receiving this energy of being a little harsh on yourself, not only in the way that you express yourself to others or just speak to yourself, but also in how you think about yourself, how you view yourself. See how we have this child here? It's reminding me of the inner child. And we have this child all alone here tending to the fire. You are the sole protector of this inner child. You are the provider. You are the father. You are the mother. So how is it that you are caring and nurturing for this child that exists within you? Now, I'm getting this energy of there being like possibly some chaos, struggles, arguments, differences between you and other people or between the people around you with this lightning here. And if you feel left out in the cold by these people, or you have experienced abandonment, or you find that people do not support you, or you do not receive love and affection from others, please know that that does not mean that you have to hold back on loving yourself. Because the way other people treat you is not a representation of your worth or your value. It is sad and it is upsetting sometimes that, why do I feel like crying all of a sudden? But it is sad and upsetting that sometimes we believe that we are not worthy of love because others do not know how to express love. And remember that usually this has nothing to do with you. This is something that has everything to do with that person who does not know how to give love or how to receive love. It's something that they need to work through. And it sucks that sometimes we're on the receiving end of their anger, their frustration, or their lack of self-love. But please don't take that as something personal, because it is not a representation of your worth. Okay? You are worthy of love. And when we feel we're not receiving it from others, always remember that you can send that love to yourself. That you can be your provider of emotional support, of kindness, of nurture, of gentleness. You don't have to be left out in the cold. Not when you have yourself. Not when there is benevolent divine spirits around you protecting you, because as you can see, yes, she is. No one is physically around her, but she is still looked after. You're still divinely protected. This fire, which for me represents warmth, represents life, is still ablaze. Your light still shines bright even through all of this. So keep nurturing that light. Keep feeding it love. For you are worthy of that love. For you are love. And that's what I see here with the Two of Vessels, which is the Two of Cups. This represents partnership, love, compatibility, connection, mutual respect, mutual love. This is an equal exchange of giving and receiving. This is balance. No cup here is empty and will never be empty, because these two beings choose to not be selfish, to always be giving and be receiving. And even though this often represents like attraction between two people, I'm actually seeing this as a union within yourself. Remember that we all hold masculine and feminine energies, and that is what brings balance within self. So I'm seeing a union between your masculine and your feminine energies, and see how they are, their arms or the shape is protecting, shielding this sacred heart. And we have fire here. We have fire here. I'm seeing your sacred heart as representing your inner child, because that is your purest essence. That is where your authenticity comes from. That is where your truth comes from. This is the representation of unconditional love. You have that. You have that. You are that. And this is about keeping and protecting this energy, protecting your inner child, shielding it. This is from you representing the mother and the father. You are these parents to yourself. If you found that you never received that love from parental figures or from your own parents, again, I apologize for that. On behalf of them, I apologize for that, because you are deserving of that love. And it's sad to see that you didn't receive it. But know that you can be those parental figures to yourself. Now, I have heard of reparenting yourself. So becoming that mother, becoming that father figure to yourselves. And in that, shifting the experience, shifting the beliefs, right? I've heard of like when you have had a bad experience in a certain place, sometimes it is recommended to go back to that place and create a new and beautiful experience in order to reprogram it, in order to switch that memory with something nicer, with something pure, in order to start letting go of that bad experience. So I feel like it's sort of the same thing here. It's like becoming the mother that you would have wanted for yourself in order to shift the experience, in order to allow this inner child to understand that, hey, I am lovable. I am deserving of this love. I have always been deserving of it, as well as becoming that father figure. And then bringing harmony within yourself. If your parents or the relationship of your parental figures were not healthy one, were not reciprocal, were not balanced, then having that union within yourselves, sort of like a matrimony, having your masculine and your feminine working beautifully together, being in love with each other, then that will help your inner child understand that pure and true love does exist, that mutual respect does exist, that these two energies can come together and work together in harmony in order to care and nurture for something so pure and tender as your inner child. All of the groups were deep, but this one, like the energy here, the topic here feels a little more deeper. I hope that this does not all sound just like spiritual nonsense, that there is some like logic to it, like it's understandable, because it does feel like self-love, like inner union, balance within. So we have dissect what makes us human, and I feel like that goes back to love, to the sacred heart, to spirit. Actually, I'm gonna leave that message for you guys. I feel that this is something that you're being encouraged to contemplate at this moment. What is it that makes us human? I feel like this is a big question that everyone will have a different answer to. So whatever answer comes up, look more into that. See what feelings arise from that. See what memories come up to the surface from just asking yourself that question. I feel that will help bring a lot of healing. I'm getting also the sense of anger. So if that comes through, let it be. Let that anger surface and then release it. Feel into it and release it. If you need to cry it out, then do so. Because we have mystery and worker here for the emotional body aspect of this reading. And with the mystery card, see how we have this tree that is blocking the full moon in the background? So full moon connects with feminine energy. And feminine energy delves into the realms of emotions and feeling as well as intuition. I also see this as a representation of delving into one's subconscious mind. But we have this tree blocking it, hiding it. And then we realize that this tree is growing from a canoe. So it's not really grounded on earth, not really stable. It's not secure. This tree can drift away when the current decides to take it. So I'm seeing this as representing illusions. Your truth being blocked by illusions, by the lies that we tell ourselves. So I see a disconnection from your emotions. And it's almost like not wanting to see the truth, not wanting to dive deeper, because deep down we know a truth. Deep down we already know where this is heading to, and we don't want to head in that direction because it's painful, because it feels like too much. Because I'm even getting this energy of hopefulness. And feeling that hope, holding on to it, is painful at times. Because either we've been disappointed several times and we don't want to go through that anymore. So this straight out is telling me that your emotions, your feelings are a mystery to you at times. And with the worker card here, it's like needing to work on your emotions, needing to heal emotional wounds. I'm getting this message, it's okay for you to love. Love itself is not painful. Love itself is not meant to be painful. Love is love. It's the most purest feeling. It's everything else that makes the experience sometimes not so pleasant. But love itself will never bring you pain. It's the lies that we tell ourselves, the expectations that we hold, that bring about the pain. So this is letting me know that we need to start working on breaking down the illusion, tearing through them, recognizing them primarily. Some of you have this belief that you're not worthy of love, and you're like, no, I I believe I am worthy of love, but this is like at the core. If you tend to self-sabotage your relationships, or you tend to hold expectations, and I'm talking about unrealistic ones. It's like believing that in a relationship there are never meant to be differences. There are never meant to be arguments. That, well, for me personally, seems like an unrealistic expectations, because every person is an individual and everyone is different. There are bound to be some differences. But believing that you are never meant to argue in a relationship, and then being in a relationship and then having that argument and then finding that a reason to end the relationship, that can be a form of self-sabotage. And it's because at the core, you're afraid of being vulnerable, of opening up, of surrendering to something more, because you fear getting lost in that, or you fear getting hurt at the end. So then you decide to find a reason, an excuse, forgive me for saying, but an excuse to get out of the relationship before, oops, it's too late. So this is about being more honest with yourself, and that is hard at times. It's a work, and that's why we have the be here. It's a work. And sometimes the self-sabotage can be holding on to something that we know is not stable, that we know is not steady, but we hold on to it in fear of letting go, in fear of working to find something that is better for us, that is more suited for us. And sometimes that may be the case because we don't believe we are deserving of something better. But I'm here to tell you that you are. You deserve to find a tree that is actually rooted on something real, on earth, in earth. You deserve to find that home that you know you can always come back to. You deserve to be that home to yourself. Also, do not be afraid to connect more with your feminine energy, to feel into your emotions. Your emotions, they do not make you vulnerable in a sense that they cause you to become defenseless or open target. Getting more in tune with your emotions actually builds strength, builds courage, because it lets you become more in tune with yourself, with how it is that you experience the world, your relationship with all things outside of you. And the biggest strength one can have is getting to know the self, because then you become like the tree that is deeply rooted. No storm, no whirlwind, no flood can be able to tear you down, because you will be grounded in who you are. You will know what is of you and what isn't. Sometimes we feel that we can only love a person as much as they love us, and that love can only be expressed by holding on to someone, by being with them. Love is cageless. Love is free-spirited. When you love purely, you love. Love doesn't necessarily ask for anything in return, and that is difficult to understand at times. So if you've ever loved someone and they wronged you and you feel bad because for some reason you can't stop loving them, do not feel like there's something wrong with you. It just means that your love was pure and true. Doesn't mean that you have to stay with that person. Doesn't mean that you have to put up with their mistreatment. No. It's respecting yourself, right? It's respecting your love as well, knowing that you still hold love for this person, but you don't have to put yourself in that situation in which you are mistreated, in which you feel left out. You can walk away from that, and it's okay. And I feel like you guys are very loving individuals, and that is something that might scare you at times. Your love. That is your courage. That is your strength. And it is beautiful that you have it. Now, for your mental body, we have rise and reverse. I'm seeing this mostly, as we mentioned in the intuitive message, a lack of self-confidence. How you view yourself. See, if it were upright, we have this person who is visualizing themselves to be like the birds, who believes that they can fly because they know that their spirit has no bounds, that they can, who rises with the sun. The sun for me represents masculine energy. We have the sun and the moon here. But see how they're both kind of blocked in a way? The sun hasn't fully risen and the moon is blocked by these illusions. So it's time to start connecting more with your feminine and masculine energies. It's okay to feel confident in self. That doesn't make you arrogant. It's okay to feel into your emotions. That doesn't make you defenseless. You can make your dreams happen. The card is in reverse, but the energy is still here. So this is Spirit letting you know, be confident in yourself, because you have all the capabilities, the abilities, the skills, the talents, the magic, the light within you to make your dreams come true, to make the life that you want for yourself a reality. What was the intuitive message? I forgot the intuitive message. You are a master of your universe? Yeah, you are the master of your universe. I got the word codependent. No, this might just signify if you feel like you can't make it on your own, if you feel like someone needs to be at the forefront always, or that you don't have it in you to succeed in life. Again, please know that that is not the case. Asking for help is never a bad thing, ever. But believing that you can't do anything on your own, that is the biggest lie. Because you have the ability to dream. That's your feminine energy. And you have the ability to make your dreams into a reality. That's the masculine energy. You can visualize and you can create. Now, again, with this, I'm seeing like, I wouldn't say there's a blockage in your mental body, but it's like, I feel like it's upside down. Like, we need to turn your mentality around. Either you tend to always look towards the worst case scenario, or you tend to expect the worst for yourself, even before you're about to embark on something new. Let's say it's a project or something that you're about to create. You're already expecting it to be a failure. You're already expecting it to not do well, or to not look as good as you envisioned it before you're even beginning it, or as you're doing it. And this is changing that mentality around. Because if it has been the case that you have started projects and they have not succeeded, or they have not done well, or they have not gained the recognition that you expected it to, it's not because you're talentless. It's not because you don't have the abilities or the capabilities. You do have them. I feel it's more of the energy you're sending out there. It's more of what you believe in. It's more like, let me clarify this. You're blocking yourself. It's sort of like wanting the recognition, but at the same time not wanting it at all, because you feel like you're not deserving of it, or you're scared to be recognized. Because the moment that people see you, you're scared that they might realize, oh, they don't shine as bright as we thought they did. It's like you fear being seen, because you fear that people will see there's something missing in you, or that they will find you lacking. And that's not the truth. You shine as bright as the brightest star in the sky, which is the sun. The sun is a star, and it is so immensely bright that it brings about the day. It outshines the other stars in the sky. You are this star. Even if we have someone telling us that we're beautiful, someone telling us that we're talented, someone telling us that we are enough, it is difficult, or that they love us, it is difficult to actually receive that energy, to actually receive those comforting words, because if we don't believe it, we tend to resist it, we tend to push it away. So the only way that we can actually heal is by giving ourselves those comforting words, so that we can start actually feeling into them, so that we can start actually embodying it, so that the next time that someone tells us that they love us, we do not fear it, we accept it. We embrace it. Really, it's about getting more in tune with self. It's about starting to nurture yourself, starting to give yourself positive words, positive affirmations, realizing when you're being mean to yourself and switching that around. Believing, hey, it's okay if it didn't work out this time. It will work out tomorrow. It's okay if I didn't show exactly how I wanted to show up today. I can choose to show up differently tomorrow, or in the next moment, the next opportunity that comes up. I am worth it. I am loving. I will rise, for I am rising every day. We'll look into research like you would a crystal ball. I feel like it's looking into yourself, getting to know yourself more, and looking at yourself in wonder like you would another person that you admire. For you are also a crystal ball. You are also a gem. You are also a universe of your own. So don't get caught up being too busy looking into someone else, thinking that they are everything, when you yourself are a universe of your own. I feel this is also telling me to start practicing self-care a little bit more. Like I said, affirmation, start realizing how you speak to yourself, how you speak of yourself to others. That is also very important. Don't backstab yourself, okay, you guys? And take care of yourself. Polish yourself every once in a while. Do little rituals that are for you. Sometimes we try to adopt other people's rituals, like waking up at 5 in the morning, doing meditation at 6 in the morning, or exercise or whatever it may be, because we think that that's the right way to do things because it has worked for other people. Don't always trust what you see on the internet. Just, if you want to try it out, try it out. And if it doesn't work for you after a week or so, do not try to feel like you have to force this on yourself. Create your own ritual, whatever works for you. Okay, so I'm going to end the reading here because my neighbor started singing very loudly. So thank you so much for joining me in this reading. I will now move on to the Reiki healing. If you do not wish to participate or receive that at this moment, that is totally cool. If you enjoyed or resonated with this reading, then please leave a like or a comment, or share this video with someone that you feel might benefit from it. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next moment, bye bye. Hello Seekers, welcome to the Reiki healing portion of this reading. Before we begin, I would like to give you a little bit information of what Reiki healing is all about. I feel it's only fair to do so. So Reiki is a form of energy healing in which we channel universal energy, transferring it through the palms in order to encourage healing. So we use symbols and sigils for Reiki in order to activate this channeling and this transferring of energy. That's like a quick summary for Reiki, but there's way more to it. Also, I would like to give this disclaimer, which I feel is very, very important. Whenever you receive any type of energy healing, please know that oftentimes certain, I will call them side effects, occur. Please know that oftentimes people experience, let's say, certain side effects. So when there are emotional or energetical blockages and you receive a healing, then what we experience afterward is us releasing those blockages. So I often visualize it like a current or a river, and sometimes there is muck that accumulates in the river and then the water can't flow, right? And the water is our energy current. And so the moment that we receive the healing, it helps push away that gunk, that blockage. And afterwards, what we feel is actually that gunk being washed away, right? So sometimes it manifests through headaches, feeling very tired or sleepy. That is your body telling you you need rest. You need to recharge. So take a moment for yourself. Sometimes we feel very thirsty or hungry, or we feel a lack of hunger. Sometimes it comes up through emotions or feelings. So feeling sad, feeling angry, we might start crying out of nowhere. If any of this happens, please be gentle with yourself. Allow these feelings to come through in order for them to be released. Also, it's very important to drink a lot of water to keep yourself hydrated. Water is an amazing cleansing tool or element. Now, with that being said, if you feel that now is not the best moment to go through any of that or work through any of these blockages, then it's okay for you to clock out right now. You can always come back to this video whenever you feel it's the best moment for you. Remember, it's always at your pace, at your timing, whenever you feel it is right for you. Also, please always use discernment whenever you hear that someone's going to be giving Reiki healing. If you do not connect with the person's energy, for example, my energy, if it doesn't feel right for you, then please listen to that feeling, to that gut instinct. You don't have to receive healing from anyone who is offering it to you. It's always important to use discernment, okay? And I will also like to encourage you guys to start practicing healing yourself, because remember that we all have healing abilities. Sometimes they manifest in different forms because every person is different. But we all have the ability to heal ourselves, most importantly ourselves. So I do encourage you guys to practice connecting more with self and to send healing energy whenever you feel that need for extra support, extra comfort, you can always provide it to self. You don't necessarily have to go to an energy healer or a Reiki master or whoever it may be. But if you feel the need to do so, then it is always okay to ask for help. I just want you to know that you can heal yourself if you so desire. So I know I have talked a lot, but I really want to encourage you guys to realize your own light and feel your own energy. So if you would like to do this little practice with me, in which you will get to experience your own energy and send some healing to yourself, then I do welcome you to it. And I will be doing the Reiki healing, but it will be it will be after this practice. So if you want to stick around for it, but if you can take a moment and you can sit upright with your feet firmly planted on the ground, your back straight, and we can begin to start rubbing our hands together. We do have energy points right here at the palm of our hands. I often say to visualize Iron Man. You know how he has little circles right here where he emits light and energy so that he can fly. So that's pretty much how we have it. So just imagine this little light portals here at the palm of your hands and that you're activating them at this moment. So start rubbing and feeling that heat between your hands. That's to activate your nerves here, your energy portals. And then when you're ready, you're going to start spreading your hands apart from each other, but always keeping them parallel to each other, always keeping your energy portals facing each other. And I will not be able to do it because if I do, I will be off frame, but you can spread your hands as far and wide as you can, but remember, always keeping them face to face, your hands, your palms. And once you stretch them as far as you can, then I ask you to start bringing them together. Slowly, slowly start bringing them together. And some of you might start feeling a bit of a tingling sensation, heat, or coolness. I've experienced a little bit of resistance before, in which I feel like a bouncy energy, like if I had a squishy ball between my hands. And once you start feeling this resistance, you can stop there. And what you feel there is your energy. So that is a representation of your energy. Sometimes it can represent how far and wide your auric field is stretching at this moment. So I've heard before that when we feel anxious or nervous, then usually our aura pulls back into our bodies as close as it can. Sometimes when we feel joyful, ecstatic and happy and safe, then our aura field can be extensive, right? Can stretch far and wide. So this is to represent your energy field. Okay, and once you have a good idea of where it is at, then you can start bringing it together. Start molding it into a little ball, like if it was a snowball or a clay ball. And then start molding it there and holding it between your hands this way. And you can shake it around if you want to. You can visualize it in different colors or specific color that you want at this moment. And then feel into your body. And wherever you feel that needs love and attention at this moment, then I want you to take a breath, deep breath in, hold the breath, and then in the exhale, send this little ball of energy to that place in your body. Okay? And that is you sending healing energy to yourself. So whenever you feel anxious or there's pain somewhere in your body that needs a little bit of comfort, then you can always do this practice, okay? Now to get into the Reiki healing. So remember that energy doesn't care for distance or time. So it can be transmitted as we are doing so right here, through camera, through a screen. You don't have to be in physical proximity or in contact with someone in order to exchange energies with them. Yet for this exercise, I would like your consent. So you will only get this transmission if you accept it. If you state or set the intention to receive this energy healing, then you will. for this healing, I will be connecting with my higher self as well as with the energy of the universe, or the universal energy. Yet for this healing exercise, I would very much appreciate it if you can also call in your higher self, to connect with your higher self and ask it to also work with us to bring healing energy to you. And once you do that, then I will ask you again to sit comfortably somewhere. You can also be laying down if you want to. Now I will be channeling energy onto this image here, this sigil, and that is how the energy will be transmitted to you. Okay, so again, find a comfortable seat or position. You can close your eyes if you feel the need to do so. And I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold the breath for 3, 2, 1, and then slowly exhale through the mouth. We will do this one more time. Breathe in through the nose. Hold it for 3, 2, 1, then slowly exhale through the mouth. You can do one more breath cycle if you feel the need to do so. Okay, and now I will start the Reiki healing. I set the intention to bring a gentle, healing energy for all those watching currently. I set the intention to gently clear out any energies, attachments, thought forms that is not of them. And as they clear out, I set the intention to send healing light to those spaces, filling them with love, filling them with benevolent divine light. Set the intention for whatever healing that is needed at this moment to come through for them with ease, with grace. This is energy coming from that of the highest vibrational energetical frequency, which is unconditional love, divine benevolent light, and truth. I ask each one of your higher selves to work with you, to send the energy that is needed at this moment to help cleanse your field, to help boost your confidence, to help you become more aware of the beauty, the light, and the love that you hold within and that you are. May you always remember how brightly you shine. I ask to shield your energy, your space. And I close this session thanking my higher self and your higher self for helping with this healing and cleansing energy transmission. And then I slowly disconnect from your energy with much ease and grace. Thank you so much for joining me in this reading and in this Reiki healing session. May you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. And until the next moment, bye-bye.